For a lot of us, DayZ has become something familiar. We spawn in, identify the town, and point to the nearest military and go. For some, though, it's still fresh. A mystery. This is one of those stories. A tale of two men, born into the chaos of this world. Together, they'd survive or die. That much at least was certain. Aptly named Survivor 1 and Survivor 5 had no idea what on earth was going on. They spawned in Electro. When I caught up with them via the admin camera, they were already starving. Survivor 1 had a clear favorite weapon, and that was a bandage in his hand anytime he fought a zombie. Survivor 5, a man of culture, a huge fan of the baseball bats. And just about any time either of them fought infected, their method of killing that infected was a barrage to the belly. After dominating a couple more Zeds, Survivor 1 found a pair of shoes in a nearby building. He must have liked the color, so he switched it up. Unfortunately, the shoes he switched to were badly damaged, and his old ones were pristine. 5 battled through an industrial area and caught up to 1, just as AK shots began ringing out over the air. I believe this is when reality began setting in. They needed food now, and the zombies weren't going to stop, so they decided to split. Survivor 5 would go loot the civilian houses above this location, and 1 would continue carving a path through the zombies in the industrial. I could feel the frustration mounting for 1. It appeared as if every time he relaxed here, another zombie was waiting. So after killing 2 more infected, immediately he'd pull out his shotgun ready for war. And we'd see this soon enough. Where 1 was doing okay and holding his own, 5 was really suffering. His belly still screamed, and he went to the church for refuge, hoping anyone would hear his cries, but this is DayZ.
I'm very hungry and thirsty and looking for food and water. I would take place in a church.
And sometimes DayZ leads you astray. This is another one of those if you know kind of things. But water, I mean, why wouldn't it help, right? 5's thirsty, he's starving, and there's water right here. So he drinks, and he drinks, and he drinks, and he drinks, and he drinks. And then here comes 1, and he drinks. They drink so much. They just keep drinking, guys. Of course, because there's water there. Why would they not? That's logical sense. But this is DayZ. After drinking nearly 3 liters of water each full of cholera, they moved down to the town. Half the problem was solved, kinda. At least, to them, it was. Now for the food. So 5 put his Yankee hat on and swung that bat as they ran full steam ahead to salvation. There was a particular willingness to take hits from zombies from both of these players. I like to think because they felt no fear. And that would be tested as they sprinted back through the industrial. They attracted a lot of zombies. When players are new to the game, there are so many things to focus on, but our mind can only put the things that we need on precedent. In this case, they're hungry. So often the other 50 things to take into account are background noise. So they sprinted, loud-footed, all the way to the supermarket, and they brought an entire protest with them. It was here that Survivor 5 would be challenged, and he would also find a Pepsi on a Zed, staving off starvation just a little bit longer. He had to be feeling the pain of all these zombie hits by now, alongside the starvation. So he ran to a nearby medical in hopes of finding a healing item of some sort, I imagine. 1, on the other hand, was in the right place. He was looking through civilian buildings nearby. calling out to a player that had already turned from the infection.
Hello.
It was here
Friendly.
that one made a common mistake. He could only focus on getting the food to his friend because he's a good man and he wants to help. But you got your gun in your hands, bro. Bro, you got your gun. Bro, you got your gun in your hands. Bro, you got your gun. Bro. Ah, God. And with this panic, no doubt. It's happened to all of us. We lost track in the haze of objectives and checkoffs, so we sprinted away. But as we said before, where they may lack in knowledge, they make up for in courage. So one jumped out of the window. He jumped out of the window. But as we said before, one was fine. It was 5 that was starving, hurting, and battling against the Reaper's scythe. He moved back towards the church, and it was here that he first showed signs of defeat, of the battle taking its toll. His run became more of a trot. He had the smallest of limps, but nevertheless, our survivor ran forward, attempting to meet up with one again. They used the church as a marker, and soon, one would deliver the cereal to conquer all their worries and assure the journey ahead. Surely, now, they'd be fine, right? 5, more than likely, spoke to one about the hospital, so they crossed the town and head that way. It was here that things go where they always go in DayZ, to hell. The dirty water from earlier had made its way into their bodies and conquered everything. It had to come out. And it did at the worst possible time. Both of them. Like clockwork. And here is where our survivors were conquered. Not by betrayal, not by the infected even, or starvation. No, what conquered our friends was frustration. Welcome to DayZ.